By now, you've heard about the debate over cell phones and whether they could cause cancer.
But you probably haven't heard about the steps that a growing number of people who are worried about all of this wireless technology are taking right now. Now, Kristen Fisher is going to take us to a remote town in West Virginia to meet some of these wireless refugees.
Eventually, seeing people using cellular phones may seem as commonplace as someone checking time on an electronic watch.
When cell phones first hit the U.S. market in the mid-'80s, there were only a few thousand subscribers. Today, there's more cell phones in this country than there are people. 322 million. On top of that, 20 million Americans now use wireless-enabled laptops, tablets, modems, and that number's jumped 50% in just 2 years. The invisible electromagnetic radiation that these wireless devices emit are all around us, and most of us can't get enough. But a growing number of people are moving to Green Bank, West Virginia, to get away from it.
To come to Green Bank, it's leaving the shopping malls, the theaters, the cultural events. Here, I don't have my family, I don't have my friends, but at least now I have some hope and a future.
Diane Sco is a Wi-Fi refugee. There's about 30 of them now living in Green Bank, and 3 agreed to meet with me at Diane's home.
I was a police officer in Toronto, Ontario.
I'm a professional pianist and singer.
I was working as an architect in Hawaii.
They've left their families, jobs, everything because they believe they have a condition called electromagnetic hypersensitivity. Think of it as an allergic reaction to wireless technology.
It's horrible when something is emitting and your body is having reactions.
I felt like I had some kind of radiation suit on and my muscles were all getting all bound up.
I just feel like pins and needles all over my face and head, dizzy, violently ill to my stomach. I just felt poisoned.
Just more recently, I found the cancer has come back. And I know if I'm going to survive this, I really need to go somewhere where I can be safe. So that's the main reason I'm here.
Here, wireless technology is strictly outlawed because of the Green Bank telescope. It's protected from any interference by the only radio quiet zone in the country. No cell phone towers, no microwaves, radio dead zone.
It's not perfect here, but it's the only place in the world I know that's protected where people live.
Now before you write these people off, consider this, the electromagnetic spectrum. Everything on this side of the spectrum, power lines, radio and television, it's harmless. But everything on this side, X-rays, gamma rays, well that can hurt us. And wireless technology, it falls right on the threshold of what's safe for us and what's not. And what if some people are simply more sensitive to it than others? Last year, the World Health Organization classified radio frequency electromagnetic fields as possibly carcinogenic to humans. But it stopped short of recognizing EHS as a real medical condition. It said the symptoms are certainly real, but there is no scientific basis to link EHS symptoms to electromagnetic field exposure.
You're talking about an area that hasn't been studied.
Dr. Andrew Marino, a neurology professor at Louisiana State University, disagrees with the World Health Organization. Last year, he published a study in the International Journal of Neuroscience. It concluded that EHS can occur as a bona fide environmentally inducible neurological syndrome.
There's no question in my mind that exposure to environmental electromagnetic fields produces acute responses.
But there's also no question in the mind of Bob Park, a physics professor at the University of Maryland. He says there's no scientific evidence that EHS exists.
There's not only no science, there's science showing that there's no science.
There's been dozens of studies, but the scientific community is still split.
If you're talking to a physicist, I might say you're talking to the wrong guy in terms of background.
Oh, I think he's wrong.
So how do you explain these people coming from all over the world to Green Bank, West Virginia? Why would they be doing this if they didn't really feel something?
I have no idea what causes their problems, but it's not caused by electromagnetic fields.
For the people out there watching this who say this is not a real condition, that it's just in your head, what do you say?
When I'm exposed, I have the health effects. When I'm not exposed, I'm fine.
I don't worry about that because I know it's happened. It's happening and it's getting worse. And I would suggest that we're probably near the end of the wireless age. Wireless will become a technology that can't be used anymore.
So the conclusion that I've come to is that the U.S. government just needs to do more independently funded research. Right now, the National Institute of Health is not funding or conducting any studies on EHS, but other countries are. The Canadian government, they've already started funding treatment of EHS, and get this, there is a 9-month waiting list to get into that program. So I want to hear from you. If you think you're suffering from EHS, let us know by going to the WUSA9 Facebook page. You can also hit me up on Twitter. Leslie, basically, we're asking everybody to contact us. Let us know what they think about that by using wireless technology.
You know, it's interesting because you did the story about smart meters and you talked about how people were describing symptoms similar to what some of these people who were in West Virginia were describing, irritation and headaches and just feeling overall pretty awful.
Very similar in the sense that, you know, cell phones, wireless routers, smart meters, they all emit the same kind of wireless radiation. And those wireless refugees that you just heard from, they all say that smart meters, for some reason, make them feel the worst.
Interesting. That means that maybe there will be some more research done.
Maybe.
We'll have to wait and see. Kristen, thank you.